My mom called me and she said, Stephanie, it's Spectre of the Gun, not Day of the Gun. I'm sorry, you're not a Trekkie.
Oh. Talking about yesterday?
Yes. But I'm telling you, I don't think people realize how great Star Trek, the original, was.
You're right. It was good.
Yes. And it had teachable moments. And Bashan, I will debate anybody to this day and tell them that Mr. Spock should have been leader.
Oh,
He solved every problem.
he really did.
Bashan, and I don't even think he got an increase in pay. All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, stand and let me know you're here. If you don't stand and let me know you're here, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. And I think, Rashawn, today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday, Judge. August the 6th.
All right, Joshua Anzaldua, custody. Kenneth Galfo, custody. Jenny Tim.
Council's present, Judge. I'll give her a call.
Thank you. Ramonique Quarles. Thank you. Anita Herrera, custody. Jasmine Hardaway. Thank you. Freddie Gallardo. Thank you. Matthew Castillo. Cristobal Gomez, custody. Christopher Morrison.
Here.
Thank you. Denise Thomas. Cesar Gutierrez. Lorio Labarde. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Is it Labarde? Laborde. All right. Veronica Gonzalez, custody. Brenda Rodriguez. Humberto Caceres, custody. Julexis Brown. Thank you. Oh, good morning. Thank you. Christian Dunbar. Christian Dunbar. All right. Marikama, custody. Gassan Kadir. Good morning. Delia Ochoa, custody. Amanda Lawson. Theda Reyes. Sammy Salazar, custody. Isaac Cabello. Isaac Cabello.
Judge, he is outside in shorts.
Oh, have him come in.
Okay, are you okay? All right.
Yes. But Sean, you know, when I was a defense attorney, I would always tell my clients, dress like you're going to church. And then I realized I couldn't say dress like you're going to church because people are doing different things at church these days. I don't know why people think shorts are appropriate for court. Okay. John Garza. Ziana Para.
Present on that, good morning, Your Honor. I have an agreed bond set. My client is at the bond office and we'd like to make that bond this morning.
Amy Oliveras.
Judge, we can talk offline about that.
Thank you. Ganal. Yana Guile. Yana Jen Guile. Jesus Rivera. Thank you. All right, Mr. Rivera, for now, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the box, okay? And we'll wait for your attorney. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen until your attorney comes. All right, Ruben Cerna is in custody. All right, is there anyone who's present and your name was not called? Oh, yes, we have you. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. Number one, we're currently in a jury trial. Don't worry, you're still going to be able to have your jury trial if you're scheduled for jury today. To my left is the court reporter. Everyone, please speak clearly and loud so that the court reporter can hear. The same energy and loudness that you bring when you're not on the record, bring that when you're on the record. If you have a client who's in custody, yes, they need to be brought out. I'm sure they want to know what's going on with their case. Just request the deputy to bring your client out and they will bring your client out. If you requested that your client be brought out from the back, do not leave the courtroom. Why is that? Because there's a limited number of resources and because the deputies for security reasons can have only so many people in the box. If you request your client and leave the courtroom, you're being selfish to your co-counsel. If your client wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, you're going to have to ask for an interpreter. Let the clerk know that you need an interpreter brought down. Do not approach the court if you have not conferred with the state and conferred with your client. Once you have done those things and you're ready to approach, excuse me, shades off. Once you've done that and you're ready to approach, just go to the clerk, tell them your client's name. They will pull the file. I will call you in the order of appearance. There's no reason to stand in line and stare me down because I'm calling you in the order of appearance. The only exception is if your client wishes to communicate in a language other than English. Hey, you made it. Yay, hi. Oh, thank you. The other thing is, don't spread germs. The criminal trial division boxes are there. Family violence is there. Just grab a file, place it on the table and have a seat. Do not try to skip in line and jump in line. And prosecutors, if you will be helpful with that, when somebody tries to skip in line, just tell them you're skipping in line. This person was here first. And we're going to run things in an orderly fashion. Now, everyone, please confer. And counsel, with regards to the bond being set, I don't know if the state told you, but I require people to be in court when I'm setting a bond.
I'm aware. I will leave this.
No, I understand. What's going on? That works. Oh, just the power is one issue. It is. The one we call it. It might be.
Yeah.
My lovely Odyssey, you know, it's one of the best. Are you? I guess it's there.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh my God. No, I'm trying to focus. This is where I'm at, so I'll be here. I see it in real time.
Yes. Oh. No, yes, we're gonna do that.
Did she answer the docket checks?
She's not on the docket today. I was just given that today.
Oh,
Okay. All right, who's here on Isaac Cabell? Oh, you're Mr. Mauer's client? All right, just have a seat.
Is this my copy?
No, if you'll have them make you a copy. And then just let Norma know when we can set it so you can have a chance to find your client. Yeah. Vashon? Okay. Let me tell you why I'm so excited right now. I still haven't watched Deadpool, but now it's moved up my list to watch. You know why? Guess what I just discovered? Do you know who's in there who they should have an entire movie about in an origin story? Gambit. No, you know, he was in another movie and they didn't choose the right character to play Gambit. This one, they say it's Tannen. What is his name? Chatham or whatever his name is. What's his name? Channing Tatum. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm just glad that people are giving Gambit his due. And Zach.
Amen to that, Judge.
Zach, would you like to play spades with Gambit?
Look, Judge, you can take Gambit, I'll take Bashan, and Bashan and I we'll go easy on you, Judge.
Okay, so you know what that tells me, Bashan? He doesn't know about Gambit's powers, because you don't want Gambit around cards.
Your Honor, I'm.
But I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
Bashan, it's the small things that bring us happiness.
Well, he has a chance. Thank you.
Thank you.
So she says. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably good for us.
It's an adventure every day. Oh, sorry.
Can I have the other mic, please?
Hey, I tried my best.
Yes, you did. You did really well, Judge. That mic is for,
Ah,
and this other one that's on the base by itself is
Mhm.
for loudness.
okay, thank you.
And you'll hear the difference.
Daniel Chapa. And Yaya. These are these cases. And then on this one.
That's a good neighbor.
Oh, so they're just memories that I'm not, no, actually, I already made a ruling on this. So you can even disregard because the GPS is not being removed. Yes, so you can disregard those. It's status quo. Jenny, Tim. You need to be on the front row. You were late.
Yes. Yes.
Lorio Labarde. Lirio Labardo. And Norma, Christian Dunbar is by Zoom.
I did. It's.
Ziania Para. Ziana Paria. Amy Oliveras. Lana Ganal.
It was a lot of. I agree. Hey, look, I'm a reasonable about it. He wants- 100%. I believe it. He's gonna be telling me to. I think the court will say to the court will follow any laws.
All right, who's here on Jenny, Tim? All right, come forward.
Would you like my client as well?
Yes. All right, why were you late?
I had, what parking, I couldn't find a parking spot and, I guess.
All right, so court starts at 9. So you need to think about that when you're coming to court and plan accordingly.
Okay.
All right? I know people think it's just a little bit here, it's just a little bit there. But in this court, I try to keep the system streamlined so that everybody understands. And I want everybody to understand the rules because I find that when people understand what the rules are, you stay within those lines and everything will be just fine. So I require everyone to be here at 9. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so defense, is this a blood draw or any?
No.
No
No.
blood draw.
Step all the way to the front.
Do you have all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, were you prepared to tender an offer today?
Yes, Your Honor, but this is a blood draw case, Your Honor.
All right, so then you don't have all the discovery, probably not. Do you have the
We
blood?
have the results, Judge, not the full blood discovery.
All right, are you going to be asking for the full blood discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so state, how long will that take?
30 days.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
can you reset this for 30 days for discovery? All right, we're going to come
You're-
back on.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I will be in trial in Comal County on that date. Is it possible to do the 9th, the following Monday?
Sure. Ms. Ferguson, can we put it on the 9th? What are you trying in Comal County?
A manslaughter.
Oh, okay, all right.
Who's your client?
It is Tim.
Jenny.
All right, so we'll come back on September 9th for discovery. If you all want to do the standard discovery order for me to sign, just bring that and I will sign it.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No.
All right, so we'll see you back here on September 9th at 9. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Once you sign that, you're excused. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Get your name? Yes. Leah is my first name. Alon is the last name. I'm sorry. It's okay. Your attorney will take it. It's okay. Do you need my bar number or anything? No. Okay. Thank you. Okay, no problem.
Gonna be excused, John.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
My fingers.
Hello. Good morning. How's it going? All right, I'm running. Everybody has a cough.
Had this frog for a couple of weeks, I don't know. I'm in the process of trying to get a box out of an MTR. You're supposed to be in the hallway 10 minutes ago.
Okay. It happens.
Where you at in your trial?
Oh, the jury is deliberating.
You spent the night?
Yes.
I'll share something when it's all over with. Well, if they spent the night, that means it wasn't a unanimous verdict either way right away.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's very. That's all.
I'm one of the new process. I'm gonna give you the name of the bar now.
What do you get about set?
Yes, Jennifer got me, but I don't know. Don't look so serious.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Nice job. Nice work. You did not stay the night.
She wrote down there, I'll have a face.
We're making great progress. Yeah, I just restarted. All right, I'll see you soon. Yeah.
Oh. Well, she has a big under the scenes.
Yes, they did. There we go.
Judge.
Morning, how you doing?
Okay, yourself?
Oh, I cannot complain.
No.
Good morning.
Yes.
And that one's done. All right. Jesus Rivera?
Yes, Judge, can you come up?
Yes.
Elizabeth Settle, SCPTO. You're welcome.
All right, so he has warrants. I don't know what those warrants are for.
Well, there was a violation report for not having the ignition interlock on his vehicle.
Okay.
I think that's the only one that I'm aware of, Judge. Is there more than that?
All right, who were you conferring with?
Oh. Can you give me a few minutes to see?
Sure. All right, if you'll step back. Sure. Amy Oliveras. Okay. All right. All right, thank you. All right, if you'll call Robert then and let him. Oh, Robert Porter. Robert Porter. Hi. There's a slight correction. And I apologize. Uh,
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Porter.
Yeah.
Et cetera, okay. I'm thinking in my mind. I think it's the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really.
Oh, yeah, but we can, let's get the rest. Oh, yeah. Either way. But 180 to 2 meters.
Um. Good.
Fine. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Cristobal Gomez.
I'm here for him, Judge. He's present.
Hello, Mr. Gomez.
I just seen you on YouTube, man, in the dorm. I saw you YouTube. You're
Yes.
awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I try my best. That's all any of us can do, right? All right, so where are we on this case?
I conferred with my client, conferred with the state judge. We have an offer. We've not able to reach an agreement at this point.
All right, was the offer tendered today?
No, it was tendered before and I tendered it to my client.
All right, so you're requesting a jury trial?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna bring you back tomorrow for jury trial.
Okay.
And I need an acknowledgement of discovery sign.
I think there's already one, but I'll double check.
Okay.
If there is one already signed, Your Honor, would you like another?
No, it's just that it's not in my file, but if it's uploaded in the system, sometimes things make it to the system and they're not in the file. So do you have any questions?
Like everything that happened to me, like they went inside my house, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me explain something.
Oh, no,
to
you're
you.
good, ma'am. No, you know, I
No,
know it's a
let me-
my lighter.
Let me explain something to you. Sometimes people get arrested for an offense and maybe they feel they're not treated appropriately.
Yeah.
The fact that you may not have been treated appropriately after your arrest, that really doesn't have anything to do with the allegations. Unless the defense says, oh, this has something to do with the allegations. I will tell you, I've been a defense attorney
Mhm.
and sometimes I would have clients, they would be focusing on what happened at the arrest. And I would tell them that's a separate case. Maybe that's a civil case. Maybe that's charges for something else. But right now we have to focus on the charge.
Yeah.
So in your case,
What-
this is the charge.
Yeah, but the owner of the house.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh, okay, okay,
Save that
okay.
for the trial.
Okay. no
All
problem.
right, so we're gonna bring you back tomorrow for trial. You'll be brought over dressed in whatever clothing. I'm
Yes.
assuming it's this clothing,
Yeah.
unless there's a clothing exchange that's completed. And counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know. All right, we'll bring you back tomorrow.
Ma'am, have a nice day. Okay?
All right, thank you, you too.
See you later. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Here you are. Norma, what page was he on? All right, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you meant.
No. Oh, no problem. Oh. All right, who is the prosecutor on Jesus Rivera?
Mr. Edelman.
All right, and if you'll come down. All right, and counsel's behind the court reporter. We're gonna go on the record, so if you'll ask the deputy, we'll move you towards that end. All right, court is calling night mag number 754053, 754054, State of Texas versus Jesus Rivera. Could our parties announce for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris,
Defense?
Elizabeth Settle.
And are you Mr. Rivera?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, defense in each of these cause numbers. Off the record. Mr. Featherston, we're on the record. Y'all need to move it towards the end. Thank you. All right, we're back on the record. And each of these cause numbers, your attorney has filed a motion to reinstate bond. With regards to the reinstatement of the bond, was he on a PR bond or no?
No, he was on a commercial.
All right, so one, before I can even consider reinstating his bond, the question becomes whether or not the bondsman wants the bond reinstated. Because I have no authority to force the bondsman to be back on your bond.
Correct. And he has been paying regularly, Judge, if you want me to step out and talk to them about it.
Yes, if you'll call the bondsman and see if the bondsman wants to have the bond reinstated. And then I can make an informed decision on whether or not I will reinstate his bond.
Sorry for the, another
No, it
delay.
happened.
Okay.
That's okay.
We're gonna take them this side so the picture. Who should find them?
Yes.
Any those ones, I think? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You are awesome. Thanks. No, Oh, they're using. No.
Good morning.
Only have 1% of it. Don't have a best thing.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Could I see the file on quarrels? Ramonique, please. All right, can I see Ramonique Quarles? Hello. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You always do. And you've never not been on time. Mr. Porter, I'll give you credit for that. All right, so the state has tendered a dismissal in your case due to a missing witness. Okay. This is what I tell everybody. Whatever brought you here today, you need to internalize that and make sure that you don't come back.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we are Mr. Porter.
Thank you.
All right, with that, you are excused.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
On my case, apparently she hired the law firm and they're on their way,
All right.
but I'll wait around.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna go to 4:30 and get some coffee.
Okay.
We're ready. Yeah, okay, sure, Bear.
Yes, I do.
We're ready, Judge.
All right. All right. And did you get a chance to speak with the bondsman?
I did, it's AA Best, and she said that they will stay on his bond, but he's got a balance of $455 that he's got to pay immediately.
All right. We're going to go on the record and night mag number 754-053 and 754-054. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Elizabeth Settle.
All right. And are you Mr. Rivera? And each of your cause numbers, your attorney has filed a motion to reinstate bond and to have installed the PAM device in lieu of ignition interlock. State, have you had a chance to review defense's motion to reinstate bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State, do you have any objections to the reinstatement of the bond?
Yes, Your
All right. Then defense, do you have any witnesses?
Just my client, Judge.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, all the truth.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure
Yes, ma'am.
that you wait until the question is finished before you answer. Do you understand? All right, state your name for the record.
My name is Jesus Rivera.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Rivera, you were on bond for both of these cases that we're here for, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And your bondsman is AA Best.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you understand that the judge put conditions, pretrial conditions on your bond as a condition of you being on bond that you needed to follow.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware that one of those conditions was to have the ignition interlock on your vehicle?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't know that.
All right, so here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm assuming that you want me to hear what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
In order for me to hear what you're saying, you're going to need to speak up because
ma'am.
right now I'm catching every other word that you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may continue.
You were aware of that condition?
Yes, ma'am.
And yet you did not have the ignition interlock installed?
No, ma'am.
And why is that?
I don't have no vehicle.
Okay,
I take the bus to work.
did you discuss the fact that you have no vehicle with your
Yes, I talked
pretrial
to,
officer?
I talked to Fabian Ortiz.
Okay, and what was the response?
I told him and he just told me that I have to get a vehicle to try to install it.
Did he give you any other options?
No, ma'am, he didn't.
Have you driven at all since you've been on bond for
No,
this
ma'am.
case? Do you have any minor children?
I got 4 children. Oldest 12 years old, 8, a boy, and a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Do any of them live with you?
No, except for the one, 8-year-old.
The 8-year-old lives with you.
Yes.
Are you a single father?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work to provide support for
ma'am.
your family?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And are you asking the judge to reinstate your bond with the revised conditions so that you can continue to work to support your family?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right. State, any questions?
Mr. Rivera. When was Ms. Settle appointed to represent you?
I think it was March the 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
And you were provided with her contact information, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you were aware that if you had difficulties with your bond, you could contact Ms. Settle and ask her to go to the court to have that issue resolved, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that?
No, sir.
Nothing further.
All right, any other questions?
No, you're not.
All right. Is there any objections to Fabian Ortiz zooming in?
I have no objection, Your Honor.
And your testimony is that Fabian Ortiz told you you needed to get a vehicle so ignition interlock could be installed on it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna have Mr. Ortiz zoom in. Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, ma'am.
If you could have Fabian Ortiz, he's the pretrial services officer on this case. If you could have him zoom in, please. All right, just have a seat. We're gonna get him to zoom in. Yes. No, I don't have Vita Reyes. I have Isaac Cabello. You may be excused.
Thank
Thank you. And I have the Castro file. All right, who's here for Kenneth Galfo? Mr. Woodard,
Morning, Judge.
good morning. All right, and there are no applications?
No, Your Honor.
All right, probation, no applications. Court is calling 2024 CR 007117, State of Texas versus Kenneth Galfo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Sadelman.
Defense.
David Andre Woodard from Mr. Galfo.
And are you Mr. Galfo?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Judge.
Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Galfo, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? And you're proceeding on the enhancement allegation?
We are, Judge.
All right, Mr. Galfo, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
yes,
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1B, 1 grams to 4 grams? Normally, that's a third-degree felony with a range of punishment of anywhere from 2 to 10 years. However, the indictment is alleging a repeat offender enhancement allegation. If the state is able to prove up that allegations, your range of punishment will be at the second-degree felony level, which is anywhere from 2 to 20 years and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
yes,
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
yes,
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Judge.
Mr. Galfo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There are no applications, and there's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes,
Defense is at the plea.
it is, Judge.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest?
To the enhancement paragraph, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
State any evidence to support the defendant's pleas?
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
No objections, Judge.
All right, state you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Waivering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. The court will find the enhancement true based upon your plea of true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
we are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We're just asking the court to follow the plea, Judge.
All right, Mr. Galfo, who is Kenneth Victor? Is that your full name?
Yeah, that's my first name.
So it's Kenneth Victor Anthony Galfo.
Correct.
Okay. And it says in here that he had warrants. They arrested him on warrants. Is there any outstanding cases?
Not to my knowledge, Judge, he does have a misdemeanor case that's going to be dismissed this morning. I don't know of any other cases outside of those two charges.
All right, State, do you know if he has any other outstanding warrants in Bear County other than this misdemeanor case that's still pending, or any open cases other than the misdemeanor case in this case?
And Judge, I checked with Mr. Garahan. He checked his system. He didn't see anything else pending.
Okay. And the reason why I ask these questions, because I don't want him to be held at the jail awaiting transfer because he has a pending case.
Sorry, Judge, Jason Garrett for the record. I talked to Mr. Woodard about it, indicated that there might have been a case from March, but in our system, it doesn't have anything else on our system at this point.
All right,
But that's not saying it's not out there somewhere.
it's
but
Odyssey.
That would, if it was a theft, which Mr. Woodard told me, we would be compensating in this. So if it does arise later, Mr. Woodard or the defendant can come back and we will TIC that with that case.
All right.
And Judge, what I can do is I can follow up with it to make sure nothing else is lingering out there.
All right, because there is overcrowding at the Bear County Jail. And
He
we
told
would
me
like
about
you to
that.
have you transferred to the prison, okay? And your attorney will let me know.
Okay.
All right, State, you're excused.
Your Honor, may I tender the dismissal?
Yes.
Fully County Court 1 will not mind you signing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so the court, as previously stated, is finding you guilty, the enhancement true. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. And there's to be restitution, if any, to SAPD for drug testing. Counsel, anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
46.
All right, so you're gonna have to start making changes in your life. If you come back to another felony court in Texas, and I'm only dealing with Texas law, I don't know what they're doing in other states. I'm sure research would let us know. You'll be a habitual. And depending on the type of felony, your minimum will be 25 years in the prison. So if you have a drug or alcohol problem, you need to take care of it. When you're released from prison, if you can't find a place that will accept you in inpatient treatment if you need it, if I'm still on this bench, as they say, God willing, the creek don't rise, you can come back here and I will direct you to where you need to go for help. You understand?
Yes.
Don't wake up and find out a majority of your life has been spent in prison. You understand? All right, good luck to you. All right, I'm going to take up this case and then afterwards, Ms. Settle, I'll take up your case after this one. All right, who's here on Thanasuk? Thilda Thanasuk? And have you all, and did you all confer with probation?
We have to.
All right. Thanasuk, if you'll come down.
Judge, she goes by Reyes.
All right, we'll get that on the record.
Robert Featherston.
All right, thank you. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 0562A, State of Texas versus Thilda Thanasuk. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Robert Featherston, representing Ms. Reyes.
All right. And what is the name on your birth certificate?
Tita Tanasu.
All right, so your name is Thilda Thanasuk.
No, there's no L.
No L?
No L.
So it's
Tita Tanasu.
THIDA?
Right.
Thanasuk. So you're being referred to as Ms. Reyes? If you want to legally be Miss Reyes, then you need to get that changed in a court of law. Otherwise, your name is Thanasu. Do you understand? All right. And are we proceeding with the motion to revoke?
Your Honor, no. Ms. Reyes has indicated to me that she wants to withdraw her application for a court-appointed attorney and to hire her own attorney. I'm assuming that she's going to waive the 20-day statutory requirement for the hearing. Her reasoning for that is if the court wishes to inquire.
No. Oh, so here's the thing. We're going to come back in 10 days. This is going to be set for a contested hearing. Mr. Featherston will be here to handle your case for a contested hearing, or either you will have an attorney. If you're hiring an attorney, you need to let that attorney know that this is going to be a contested hearing in 10 days. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this in 10 days, please. All right, we're going to come back on August 20th for a contested hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
On the top. You need Spanish interpreter.
So Judge,
Okay.
I haven't heard that idiom in a while. On the creek don't rise.
Oh, yeah.
You know what to refer to, right?
Mhm.
It was the Creek Indians.
Yeah.
It wasn't the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Yeah, my grandma.
Oh, no, yeah,
My
no.
grandmother used to say it.
All right, Norma, is she on the docket? Still the Thanasu?
Yeah, she's on her Reyes.
Which page?
Page 6.
Ms. Abrams, that's gonna be I'm sorry, that'll be a contestant. Thank you.
The other Abrams.
The other Abrams. All right, Miss Abrams, who are you? Who is she here for a contest? I mean, who's the attorney?
Can I get your signature and just read
Of course you can.
about your thing? Thank you. Just Norma will call me back whenever you guys.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that. All right, are you all ready on Jesus Rivera? Well, she'll be put at the end of the line.
Oh, yes.
All right, we're back on the record and night mag number 754054, 754053, State of Texas versus Jesus Rivera. We have the pretrial services officer Fabian Ortiz by Zoom. Any objections to this witness appearing by Zoom? State?
None, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortiz, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
It's Officer Fabian Ortiz, Bear County Pretrial.
All right, defense, do you have questions?
Yes, Officer Ortiz. You were the pretrial officer, are the pretrial officer for Mr. Rivera, is that correct?
Yes.
And one of the conditions of his bond was ignition interlock.
That's correct.
Did he inform you that he does not have a vehicle?
From what I'm aware of, I believe so, yes.
Okay. And do you remember what your response was when he told you that?
No.
Um, I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
State any questions.
Officer Ortiz, are you refreshing your recollection from notes taken contemporaneously with speaking with Mr. Rivera?
Just off of my head, not my notes.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mr. Ortiz.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Rivera informed you that he did not have any vehicle. Did you tell him or give him any information on the steps to take to have something other than ignition interlock?
I'm gonna go ahead and check my notes on that, Judge, right now.
All right, thank you.
When conducting the orientation on March 6th, the defendant did inform me that the vehicle was a total loss and that it was his mother's vehicle.
All right, and so did you give him any other options for him to be monitored for alcohol use?
Let's see. No.
All right, so if he were released on bond, how long would it take for him to have the PAM device installed in lieu of ignition interlock?
Not that long, Judge. I can go ahead and provide him with the email with the approved vendors, and he can make an appointment to get installed with the portable breathalyzer.
All right, so if the court requires him to have this installed by Friday, is that enough time for him? Or is that not reasonable?
Each vendor's different, Judge, so it would just depend on when the availability of the vendor is. I can try to make contact with the vendor that he decides and see if we can make an exception if there's availability.
All right, thank you so much. If you'll remain on Zoom, this is what the court is going to do in each cause number. Because it appears there may have been some miscommunication. So, and defense, you've informed the court that the bondsman is willing to be placed back on bond.
Correct, Judge.
So on each cause number, the court will reinstate the bond. The court is going to order the PAM device in lieu of an ignition interlock. The PAM device is to be installed no later than August 12th by 3 p.m. You're going to provide an affidavit of non-driving. You're not allowed to drive at all. Do you understand? So there's to be an affidavit of non-driving. And there's to be an affidavit showing that the vehicle that was used was inoperable. All right. Mr. Ortiz, is there anything else that's needed for him as a condition of bond you feel he would benefit from?
No, Judge, I just want to remind you that there was the conditions of just no alcohol use and no possession of firearms, just in case that wasn't addressed right now. If that's still a current condition.
All right, all other previous conditions will remain. Of course, with the exception of ignition interlock.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and then Mr. Rivera, I'm not the one who placed you on bond for this, so there are a few questions I have for you. How often are you drinking alcohol
I don't drink.
in the past?
It was like Fridays, that was it.
All right, I'm gonna ask him to do sober support meetings. And we're gonna do 60 and 60 days. All right, is there anything else from either side?
Nothing to stay here on.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, so we're off the record and you may be excused.
Just to recall the warrant.
No, I put it in here.
Gotcha. Okay, thank
All
you.
right, so what I'm gonna want you to do, if you'll speak to Ms. Ferguson, she will give you the link to this Zoom meeting. I'm gonna put Mr. Ortiz in a breakout room, and then once you zoom in, you and your client will be in the breakout room so you can coordinate the conditions that I put in place.
Yes,
Right.
Judge.
So Mr. Ortiz, if you could remain, please, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room. And as soon as defense counsel zooms in, I will send her to the breakout room with her client as well.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Ortiz, any questions about what I'm requiring?
No, Judge, it's clear. Thank you.
Do you have any questions about what I'm requiring?
No, ma'am.
All right. So you're all excused, just get with Ms. Ferguson so that we can create, so that you can, I'm sorry, confer with the pretrial services officer in a breakout room.
Yes, I've got it, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Have a good day, Smith.
Thank you. Hmm?
Was the warrant reflected?
Yes, the warrant was recalled. All right, thanks. And everyone, just give me a moment. Thanks so much. I know that you're the hardest working attorney in San Antonio, but my understanding you're feeling a little bit under the weather.
It's just. I have an eye issue.
All right, so.
Nothing to do with, it's just that every now and then it.
So with regards to your client, I know this is a case that you all said you were going to work out.
Yeah, it's a plea case. and we need-
So what I'll do is we can reset it.
Okay.
So could I see the file on Dunbar, please? Mr. Dunbar, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Dunbar, it's the court's understanding that this case is going to work out. But your attorney is slightly under the weather and he still showed up.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
sometimes Mr. Cox continues to run, even though he should probably be taking care of his health. So I'm going to help him out so that he will be ready for the Florida Gators.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Berg. Oh, we got some Texas people who are doubting Florida's abilities.
They're in the SEC now.
Yeah,
They'll learn.
they're going to learn that they have to play every Saturday.
I've seen the schedule.
All
The sisters live poor and blind.
You in Oklahoma.
right, so do you want to put this at the end of August?
That's fine.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, let's set this for August 27th. Is that a good date for you?
That's a good day.
All right, Mr. Dunbar, August 27th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to put you for August 27th and you'll still be allowed to appear by Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you for always being camera ready. I appreciate it.
In that background.
Oh, in the background, Lord's Supper. All right, thank you, Mr. Dunbar.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, Joe.
Cornelius, you know, everyone from the South has the Lord's Supper and the clock with the 4 figures. You know who they are. All right, take care of yourself, Mr. Cox.
Good.
Yeah. Mr. Cox, take care of yourself. Don't make me do a Otersdorf and call your family to come pick you up. Who's here on Isaac Cabello?
Judge, we have an agreement. I conferred with Jason. We are going to modify the tracking only.
All right, so he needs to come forward.
Isaac, this is the guy who was in shorts.
Mhm.
Come on, Isaac.
I think he felt he was going to a cookout.
They need to put something on people's court notices about it. Every other county does it.
All right, he comes there and he has a Care Bear as a Ghostbuster.
Yes.
All right, so you're dressed inappropriately for court. Do you realize that?
Yes.
All right, so why are you dressed inappropriately? Did you not know courtroom attire?
To be honest with you, no, I did not.
I'm sorry, what?
To be honest with you, I did not.
All right, so here's the thing. And your counsel will tell you, I used to be a defense attorney. I used to tell my clients, dress like you're going to church. But then I realized you can't say that these days. So for court, I don't require people to be wearing a Gucci suit or a Armani suit or whatever. If you come to court wearing a pair of jeans, not the ripped ones, just regular pair of jeans and a shirt, that's enough for the court. Because I realize everybody doesn't have a suit that they can just pull out of their closet and let me put on a suit and tie. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So next time you come to court, you need to either be in long jeans or some khakis or whatever, but I require long pants and you need an appropriate shirt. Although I do like that. Which Care Bear is it? Do you know?
It's a collaboration shirt between
Okay.
Ghostbusters and Care Bear.
All right, we need to know which Care Bear that is.
No, but apparently it's a dead Care Bear.
Right? Yeah, it does look sort of hazy. All right, who's the state on this case?
Jason. Carry him. Yes.
All right, court is calling CM 119737 and 119735, State of Texas versus Isaac Cabello. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, you're on.
Defense?
Robert Mauer for defendant.
All right, and are you Mr. Cabello?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Right, defense has filed a motion asking that your conditions of bond be modified. State, have you had a chance to review those documents? All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're requesting modification to tracking only. I've spoken with the intake DA. Apparently the case is still with the paralegals. After 3 months, I'm not quite sure what the delay is. But we requested it's a really weird, unusual stalking case. It's not family violence. But Mr. Willis is going to look into see if he can try to find the surveillance video. My client manages apartment complexes all over South Texas and also in California and New Jersey. So we're just asking for tracking only. He's been on partial. And then once I get the evidence from Mr. Willis, I'll come back and either talk to him or talk to Jason about removal if we feel it's appropriate.
All right, so here's my question. Does the complainant know about this request?
Judge, the complaint, if I can give you the background on this, this is a neighbor. They had a dispute over a trash can. And my client was at the police headquarters filing eviction notices with SAPD when these people came in, saw him there, and they alleged he was stalking. That's why we requested the surveillance video from SAPD headquarters for Mr. Willis.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court, and state you're in agreement with tracking?
Yes, Your Honor. I've talked to Mr. Mallon about it.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to order tracking only, but tracking only will not begin until August 8th. And if you all can let the complainant know.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, then you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And if you need a copy.
Yeah, I'll make you copies. Yeah. I'll make you copies. It was like, oh yeah, her legal's still looking at it after 3 freaking months. I did, I told him, I said, you look at this.
No, I'm saying.
I'll tell him that.
I just want to kind of.
Okay, I'll make you copies. Yeah, I'll make you copies right now.
Oh, we have a verdict.
All right.
Thank you.
And you can, I'll hand it to Norma and you can, she'll give it to you to get your copies.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, who's here on Ghassan Kader? Okay. Have your client come forward? Oh, it's Gator? All right, you're on this side. All right. How do you pronounce your last name? Gator, all right. So today we're here for discovery. Have you received the discovery?
Honestly, it's a little bit much. I was going to, after looking for a for me, you wrote me into 2000.
All right, you'll need to file a motion. Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can you give me a 30-day reset for discovery? This will be the final discovery setting date. All right, we're going to come back on September 3rd. And state on September 3rd, you need to be prepared to make an offer.
Understood.
Yes, Judge.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused and state you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Per copy.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Just want to set everything up first.
Thank you.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 11862, State of Texas versus Alexander Castro. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar, Jason Gary with the state.
Defense?
Jasmine Lee and Jason Goss for Mr. Castro.
And are you Mr. Castro?
Um,
All right, the court has been informed by the deputy that a verdict has been reached. She's going to line the jurors up and we will bring the jury in. We're off the record. All right, so the court realizes that in cases as these, and probably any criminal cases, emotions can run high. There's not to be any outbursts. There are not to be any exclamations. If they are, then you may be excused from the courtroom. And if your testimony is needed, you may not be allowed to testify. Does everyone understand? Thank you. Ready? Okay. Yes.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the court's understanding that you've reached a verdict in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that verdict unanimous?
Yes.
All right, if you'll hand the verdict form to Deputy Laura, please. All right, if defendant, please rise. All right, with regards to the charge of manslaughter, it says we find the defendant not guilty. With regards to the charge of criminally negligent homicide, says we find the defendant guilty. With regards to the use or exhibited use of a deadly weapon, it says we so find that a deadly weapon was used or exhibited, namely a motor vehicle. Does anyone wish to have the jurors polled?
No, Judge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm have you wait in the jury room, and then we'll call you back in a moment.
All rise for jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. And State, do you have? No problem. And are you ready to proceed with your witnesses?
Yes, judges, we just gotta have a moment to prepare that.
Yes.
We do have our witnesses present.
All right, so we'll have, is 11:15 enough time? Or do you need longer, or 11:30?
Yes, Judge, that'd be 11:30 be great, Judge.
All right, so we'll 11:30.
Your Honor, maybe we just, I guess on the record, just so that I'm clear, well, can I discuss with the prosecutor, and then I might need to get on the record briefly.
For what purpose?
Well, we weren't given any notice of any 404 or 3707 notice in this case, and so I don't know who the witness is, and I don't know what evidence they're gonna present, but we might object to it.
Well, you can object at that time. All right, is Sammy Salazar in custody?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he gonna be placed in custody?
Oh, he can just remain there, not be allowed to leave the courtroom.
Judge, we're not gonna have any objection.
So. Just order frame.
This room has
How about if I cut that silent offer in half to please sign off? How about if I cut that silent offer in half?
Yes.
Is she on the docket? About 6 to.
Yes.
That's nice. Let me go talk.
All right. Have you had a chance to confer with the state?
Hold on to it. Sorry, Edelman, you take this back. I appreciate you.
And that's for Sammy?
Just 2 pages. I copied the NPR on that last
Judge, sorry, I was gonna step down to speak with the family.
Sure.
Daniel is too. Edelman will be here.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And take as much time as you all need.
You can see what happens. I'm not sure.
All right, who's your client?
Both the one this is just re-signing.
It's just two pieces
We
of
would ask
paper.
for
Ah, thank you. I see it. All right. Janessa Salazar?
I would still have to put it as a condition of our. We could put it below line.
All right, this is a motion requesting a bond be set. Court is calling 2024 CR 3821, State of Texas versus Janessa Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Andrew Harris Adlin for the state.
for the defense?
Nick Aguilar on behalf of the Salazar.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to set bond. And my understanding, is there an agreement in this case?
Well, there was a recommendation by Jason Garrett that he wrote Sharpie and blue on that copy.
All right, there's a recommendation from the state of $4,000. Are you in agreement with that bond amount?
Sure.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you need to keep your voice up. State your name for the record.
Janessa Salazar.
All right, so that the record is clear, the court is aware of the defendant's history because she's currently on bond in this court, and the court has reviewed the previous TAP evaluations. Yes, and she's currently on supervision. So since the last time we spoke, which would have been on June 4th, have there been any mental health issues with you? Are you on any type of mental health medications? What are you on medications for?
Depression and anxiety.
Can you swear up a little bit, please? Thank you.
All right, I'm going to set the bond at $4,000. And I'm going to do a referral to the Center for Healthcare Services. And Ms. Ferguson, I need a setting for a motion to revoke on this case, please. And you can set it as a contestant if it ultimately is not contested, then we will cross that bridge when we come to it. All right. Yes. All right, and I guess she'll be taken into custody. She has a warrant, but I've set the bond.
And I have bond paperwork, Judge, if somebody could saw fit to walk her to the satellite office.
Well, I'm not in charge of transport, but I understand what you're saying. All right.
Still take it back and end it last part. We'll reject it.
I'll give you.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Well, will that ought to be in the computer by the time we get there? Or sometimes the office has to call up here.
Mhm. They're going to make sure it's in the system.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Norma, what page is she on?
Well, we worked on the docket, but we waited until the day. We hope your trial might be over. So
Okay.
we didn't just, a few people knew we would come.
All right.
Yeah.
Is Freddie Garaudo in custody?
No, it's not bond.
All right, come forward. All right. So the last time we were here, CPS records are done. Discovery is done?
Yes, Your Honor, we had, at the last meeting, basically made a notation that counsel would like to come in and view the forensic. We gave them the advocate's contact information. And I still believe we're kind of working through some of the details.
All right, did you tender an offer?
No, Your Honor, we did not.
All right, this will be your final discovery date. And on this date, states you need to be prepared to tender an offer.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Ferguson, recall this in 30 days, please.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Mr. Attorney, can I get your name again? I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
All right, September 5th. No, the state is going to tender an offer and all discovery is due. Jalexis Brown.
Real quick, Wayne had just got the paperwork for her plea. Do you want me to do it now and in between, or
sure.
do you want to send us to
No.
not her or anything?
No.
Okay, do I have a few minutes to
Sure.
go through this? Thank you.
No, we'll take care of this because you can bring them back out and we'll finish this up. Yes. They're not gonna be brought back till 11:30. Yeah. Not yet. All right, John Garza, is he on bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, John Michael Garza.
It's.
Oh.
Man, that's a quick turnaround, Victoria.
Yeah, no. it's okay.
Your first name is Garza?
Victoria, my name is Victoria Cruz.
Cruz?
Yeah, it's okay. I wrote it. My client is Mr. Garza.
All right, so defense is here asking that he be placed on partial house arrest so that he can work.
And waive fees, Your Honor, yes.
Well, the fees, they'll be, yeah, I'll order that they be waived. So the only issue that needs to be addressed. State, are you going to be objecting to the partial house of work for employment?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to go on the record in 2022 CR 1746 and 2022 CR 10355, State of Texas versus John Michael Garza. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Sadelman.
Defense?
Victoria Cruz on behalf of Raymond Martinez for the defense.
And are you Mr. Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense has filed a bond modification requesting that GPS fees be waived. I'll order that they be waived, but it's a third-party contract. I don't have any jurisdiction to force them to waive your fees. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, with regards to partial house arrest, it's the court's understanding that the state does not have objections. Does your client currently have employment?
He is a skilled electrician by trade, but I do not believe that he has a set employer right now. Is that correct?
No, no, but you can. My uncle.
You going? Okay, so he will be employed. You understand that we're gonna have to provide GPS, the schedule and the locations and all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, the court will grant the motion in each case. The court will waive GPS fees. And you're to provide your employer and your work schedule. Do you understand? All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then you're excused.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
No.
Norma, is Garza off docket as well?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. Matthew Castillo?
I'm sorry, just let me go fish them out.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello.
All right, Norma, on this case, I need a trial setting date. How long do you expect this trial to last?
On Castillo, Your Honor?
Yes.
2 days tops, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. It's criminal trial division.
I apologize.
Oh, no problem. When nature calls, it calls. You gotta answer.
Yes, please.
All right, your jury trial date will be October 8th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And I'm sorry, on this case, I do have the acknowledgement of discovery. There has been no new discovery.
No, Your Honor.
All right, we will see you back on October 8th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse your honor.
Oh, that's-
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Who's here on Sammy Salazar? All right. All right, just have a seat. We're gonna see where the prosecutor is. Who's here on Joshua Anzaldua?
We're here, we're present, Judge. Yeah, come on. Excuse me.
All right, Mr. Anzaldua. What do you have in your hair? Oh, okay, all right,
Hair out of the ears.
okay. So what is happening on these cases?
Yes, Judge. So this is the first time we appeared with all the cases indicted. I think we were set a couple weeks ago when I was on trial, so we got a
Yes.
quick reset. We just received an offer today. Conveyed that and in perfect honesty, Judge, I need to go over the discovery on the new cases. I've just been in trial back to back. But by next time, I think we'll have an idea exactly what we're going to be doing on this case.
Right, is 30 days enough time?
Yes, Judge. I should be able to get it done next 2 to 3 weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Joshua Anzaldua, could I have a plea deadline date in 30 days, please?
September 6th.
All right, we'll be back on September 6th.
Yeah. I got it.
Mr. Attorney,
Adam LaHood.
Yes, Your Honor.
I just want to know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your honor, should I just stay here?
Yeah,
for a
I
while?
think you should just stay there for a little
Fair
bit.
enough, your honor.
Actually, you can be excused because I don't have another case for you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Mr. Edelman, but could you call someone from family violence and see if they can come down? I don't know if they went to the back or where they went.
Don't know who to call, but I'll start looking for them, your honor.
All right, thank you.
Never mind, they returned.
Ah, thank you. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 10634, State of Texas versus Sammy Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Defense?
Angela Blake.
All right. Just one moment. Let's go off the record for a second. Mr. Garehan? Thank you. All right, who is here on Amanda Lawson?
Present, Judge.
Your Honor, is the CTD or family violence?
Yes. Okay. All right. Just check it.
Your Honor, will you give me a moment to get a copy of the MTR from this case?
Yes.
Here, Lawson, MTR.
All right. And everyone remain here. Just give me 2 minutes. All right, court is calling 2019 CR 8173, State of Texas versus Amanda Lawson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Ray Lopez, Your Honor.
And are you Amanda Lawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Amanda Nicole Lawson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 8173 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on November 14th, 2019 for a period of 4 years and extended for a total of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 5 in Dare County, Texas. The defendant Amanda Nicole Lawson, who did in there fail to report the supervision officer as directed for the month of October 2022.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated condition.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Stand up, but I'm in hopes that you'll hear me out.
No, my question is, did you understand that? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5? I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
State, what are you requesting?
Revocation, Your Honor.
Defense?
We're requesting that she be placed back on probation, and my client would like to testify to give her reasons report.
All right, if you can raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Amanda Lawson.
All right, and what would you like to say?
Miss Boyd, because you gave me a second chance 2 years ago, I went to Grace House and I changed my life. I've been sober for 2 years. I was released from Grace House because I had a surgery and I had to go home and take care of my family. I've been doing nothing but going to work and going home. I was scared. I understand that being on the run for 2 years is bad, but I was scared that I was about to lose everything that I just worked really hard for because of the way it changed my life. And I'm just hoping that you'll believe in me one more time.
All right, this is your second motion to revoke. And what I do know is that each time when persons appear before me, I ask them if there's anything that the court can do. Do they need anything so they can be successful? And I know that I tell people, if there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. So you've been here before. You were placed on probation in 2019. And then you came back in 2021 and you pled true to a violation of condition number 1, which is a new offense. And then the court altered and amended your conditions and continued you. And then now we're here and nobody has seen you since 2022.
I'm scared. I was at home. I was taking care of my family.
Why didn't you pick up the phone and call probation?
I was scared. I can't have no excuse for that, Miss Boyd.
Okay.
I was scared to lose everything I've just worked so hard for. My grandma is 75 and my grandpa is 95, and I have my kids back in my life. I have a relationship with them now. I've been sober since Grace House. I haven't worked so hard for something. It would just destroy me to lose it again and start over.
All right, so these are choices you made.
Yes, I understand that.
You made the choice not to report.
I understand that. I'm just hoping you'll believe in me one last time.
All right, any questions?
She said all.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to grant the motion. The court is finding you guilty. Does anyone want to speak with regards to punishment? State?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's requesting 16 months, state jail.
Yeah, we're requesting a minimum. She has 166 days in. We also have some credit for the time she served and.
All right, so what I can tell you, Ms. Lawson, the state is requesting 16 months. I had internalized everything you said, and actually, what the court was going to do was sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, but the state is requesting 16 months. So I'm going to sentence you to 16 months in the state jail facility. Give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, you were given chances. And in this court, I don't know how other courts do it, but in this court, it is better to ask for permission than forgiveness. All you had to do was pick up the phone and call your probation officer and say, this is what's going on in my life. And if they did not address it, you know what you could have done? You could have come back to this court, come back to me, and I would have figured out what was going on. But for you to behave as though you were not on probation, that's a problem. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Who's here on Denise Thomas?
Watch all that stuff that's up to you. Have to like take stuff.
Hello.
Hey, Judge.
Who's here on Denise Thomas?
We're shutting your honor.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Hello. All right, this is the final plea deadline date. Are you all requesting a jury trial?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, how long do y'all expect this trial to last?
A day at most outside of jury selection.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date, 2 days. All right, October 8th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Once you
Thank you,
sign the
Your Honor.
reset form, you're excused. Norma, did LaHood finish with Anzaldua? All right, thank you. And then we have Mr. DeLeon on Anita Herrera.
Judge, second approach. I just saw Miss Herrera in the box and I was unaware she was on today's docket.
Okay.
But in addition to her, I have Virginia Cerna on the trial lineup. For purposes of her, given that you have a ongoing trial, do you want me to return back tomorrow or?
Oh, let's have them pull the file and then we'll take it out.
Okay.
And Norma, did we complete Delia Ochoa with David Woodard? All right, can you have Mr. Woodard come back? All right, Virginia Cerna. All right, have you had a chance to confer with the state?
I have not, Judge. They've been a little busy, so. in the courtesy.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All right, I appreciate your outfit.
Thank you. I'm just coming down to help me.
All right, good job, Mr. DeLeon. All right.
Judge, we're looking for, we're not gonna resolve it with a plea, so we were looking for a trial.
All right, if you'll confer with the state on this
I will.
matter. All right, just have a seat and we'll see where we are, okay? Thank you. And then Jalexis Brown. Probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2024 CR 3364, State of Texas versus Julexis Brown. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Defense?
Valerie Hetland for Alexis Brown.
And are you Ms. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes,
And did you review it with your client?
we did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Brown, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Ms. Brown, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments
Yes,
with your
ma'am.
attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes,
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of abandoning a child with intent to return as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Ms. Brown, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Ms. Brown, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state recommends deferred adjudication and you're to follow any and all CPS directives. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so with regards to following any and all CPS directives, as someone who's practiced on the CPS side, I think that may be overly broad and it may potentially interfere with the representation that her attorney has. So maybe if y'all just said CPS compliance.
Absolutely, Your Honor. We're happy to make that notation.
And just for the record too, the CPS case was only investigation. It didn't go to 252, it didn't go to family base, and it was closed.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be a problem.
And I'm just asking if they put CPS compliance, because if you have a CPS attorney or they become involved in this case on that side, they may want you to do specific things or have objections to specific things. You're welcome.
Judge, I had to move the stanchion up, so I'm not as thin as I used to be.
All right, and then so there's to be CPS compliance if applicable. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. Did you understand that's a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer states 1 and attachments.
No objection.
All right, state you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you review the document entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Bring it up. You want to say that I attached before? Can you do it again? All right, let's see what the mental health evaluation says, okay?
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just, Judge, she regrets, she understands what she did was wrong. There's no minimizing what happened. She was going to the store to get diapers. It was late at night, right before they were going to close. There's some disputes among the times in the report on how long she was gone. She did have a nanny cam there, not to excuse the risk that she put her baby in, but her daughter was asleep. She was watching her on the nanny cam, came back. And there's also some custody child support issues. So the husband or the ex, her daughter's father had been there at the house waiting for her to leave, and then he had called the police, Judge. So she's not here to make any excuse for what happened, and definitely knows better.
How old was your child when you left?
She was 3.
Okay, so you left a 3-year-old by themselves at night. And the guy that you're living with, what is his relationship to you?
He's basically just my boyfriend right now.
He's your boyfriend.
Fiance, but
So your fiance boyfriend, according to the stipulations, you left to go get diapers?
she was on her last diaper.
No, I need to say yes or no.
Yes.
All right, so you go to get diapers and your boyfriend, Adam Hernandez, does he love you?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he love your child?
Yes.
Then why does it take 2 people to go get diapers and leave a 3-year-old unattended?
There's no.
There is, I mean,
Yeah.
she does have.
No, tell me why. I want her to tell me.
Explain the.
Like, why? Why would 2 adults who claim to love a 3-year-old leave a 3-year-old by themselves while they went to the grocery store or wherever store they went to get diapers? Why does it take 2 adults to go do that?
If I go by myself, I get harassed. Wherever I go, I know it's no excuse, but the HB that I was living at nearby, there was a guy that.
So why
worked
couldn't he
there.
go?
Because we just didn't have enough money. The coupon expired after that night.
So I
and-
don't understand. You don't have enough money
Yes, ma'am.
and the coupon was going to expire.
Yes.
So there are
that's it.
two adults. Why does it take two adults to go pick up an item from a store? I don't understand.
So, if he would have gone, he would have not used the coupon. We wouldn't have had enough money. I mean.
Well, so let me just tell you the choices that you're making. You had a choice. Leave my 3-year-old by herself. Maybe the apartment's complex is going to catch a fire. Maybe somebody's just walking down the street and they notice a 3-year-old and they're like, oh, this would be a great 3-year-old to come take. So that's what you were looking at. And then on the other hand, I can save money by using a coupon. And you chose a coupon. And how much money did you get off for that coupon?
It was like $10 off.
All right, so you had a choice and you chose to save $10 over potentially something horrible happening to your child. That's basically what you did.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I still don't understand. And CPS, they do their own things sometime. I still don't I don't understand why this wasn't a legal case. And two, still don't understand why you have two adults in a household and they decide it takes two people to go pick up diapers and you all are leaving a 3-year-old by themselves. And not only are y'all leaving them by themselves, in the police report, it says the door was locked and it's a reverse lock. So 3-year-old is locked in a room and the only persons who can open that door are the two adults.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to unpack that suitcase in a little bit, but I'm still back to the point. I don't know if she understands the danger. And I don't know if the CPS worker stressed the danger that her 3-year-old was in by two grown adults acting as though one person can't go to the grocery store by themselves. Are you even internalizing how that sounds?
Yes, ma'am. I know it.
You all can leave a 3-year-old by themselves, but you all adults can't go to a grocery store by yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, why is it that there are reverse locks in that place?
When we moved in, the locks were on the other side. And when she was younger, she was able to touch it when she was growing up. And one time she locked herself in there, so we were scared. My fiance was able to open it. And from there on out, we decided to switch it around because we didn't want her locking herself in her room. She was getting curious. She was walking and talking and.
That's what 3-year-olds do. They walk and they talk.
Yes, ma'am.
So when that officer came to that location, front door is locked and that bedroom door is locked. Yeah, and it was locked. So the 3-year-old can't get out. So let's say there's a fire that happened. Guess what? Number one, nobody's going to know the 3-year-old is there. Maybe the 3-year-old stays asleep. And the 3-year-old, if they have the wherewithal to try to get out of their room because there's a fire, they can't get out because you and your fiance have reversed the locks.
It was for her safety, Your Honor.
No, that's not for her safety. Let me ask you, do you all have reverse locks on your doors?
No, ma'am.
But it would be for your safety.
I just didn't want her locking herself in her room anymore. That's what scared me.
All right, and let's move on to your boyfriend, Adam Hernandez. How well do you know him?
Very well, ma'am.
What does that mean? How long have you known him?
We've been together for 3 years.
For 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is your daughter? 3.
She's 4 now.
All right, but she was 3 then?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means that you went from one relationship to the other. If your daughter is 3 years old and he's not is he the biological father of the 3-year-old?
He's the one that stepped up.
All right, so you went from one relationship, you have a 3-year-old, and then you're in a relationship, lickety split, with some other guy. And this is a 3-year-old daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Adam Hernandez, did you do a background check?
No,
All right. Do you know if he has any criminal history?
he doesn't.
How do you know?
I mean, just because he's told me everything he's done in his past, everything that he's gone to court for, so nothing on his record.
Oh, gone to court for what?
Well, he's
Been
been charged
charged with
with
this, Judge.
All right. And what else? So you're just taking him at his word.
He's from.
And have you talked to any of the previous girlfriends, or if he's been married before, have you talked to them to find out why the relationship broke down?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you talked to his previous girlfriends?
His crazy ex-girlfriend, yes, ma'am. She was harassing
Crazy
me.
ex-girlfriend. See, you know what? I will tell you from what I've noticed in this world, there's always the crazy ex-girlfriend, the crazy ex-boyfriend. And you don't become the crazy ex-girlfriend or the crazy ex-boyfriend until the relationship ends. Then they go to the next person, and guess what? That person says, oh, she's the crazy ex-girlfriend. Let me just tell you, I don't think you've done your research to have this person in your life and trusting him with your daughter. I can't do anything about that. That's all on you. Probation, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. How far did you go in school?
I'm sorry.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school now.
All right. What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Hopefully owning a business one day.
All right. So what are you doing to make that happen?
Right now, I'm just waiting for my daughter to start pre-K, just so I don't have to stay at home and watch her anymore.
All right. CPS compliance. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And probation, please check on the 3-year-old and check the locks on the interior doors. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once parenting classes are completed, 100 hours will be waived. The remaining 100 hours will be waived if you obtain some higher level of education or if you're in trade school. Probation, is there anything else? Yes, regular random UAs. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to go off the record. You need to start putting your child first. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I've been doing that ever since the day. I
All
got
right, because
arrested.
3-year-old can't take care of themselves. 3-year-old is 100% dependent upon you. And do not bring random people in your child's life unless you've done a background check. This is what sometimes parents don't understand. You know this guy. She doesn't know him. You're bringing a complete stranger in your child's life. That needs to stop. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you have any questions about anything, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, everyone, we're recessing at 12. And if your case is not taken care of, you're going to be called back tomorrow.
Oh, I'm trying.
Cesar Gutierrez. Where's Mr. Gutierrez? You're on this side, counsel.
Oh, put me in my place.
All right, state, hello.
How you doing?
All right, thank you. State, on this case, I guess you all were saying that you were gonna re-indict?
Yes, we did say that and we did it, Your Honor.
Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
all right, so they're telling me it's been re-indicted.
Me too.
So, Ms. Ferguson,
Did you know that your clerks are not allowed to print the new indictment for me?
you know what? I stay in my lane. That's a shame. You'll have to talk to the district clerk. All right, Ms. Ferguson.
District court.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this, let's reset it for 30 days, please. All right, we'll be back on September 6th, and by then, hopefully, we'll have the new file.
I will live in hope.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Attorney, what is your name?
Oh, John Young, I'm sorry.
John, okay.
I will.
Mhm. All right, could I see the file on Jasmine Hardaway? All right, Norma Jasmine Hardaway is to be recalled for tomorrow. All right, could I see the file on Christopher Morrison? Christopher Morrison, you're recalled for tomorrow.
Get it recalled, you can wait till I give you a reset. Do not do that.
All right, could I see the file on Veronica Gonzalez? Oh, that's Mr. De Leon. Could I see the file on Humberto Caceres? You know what? Just hand me all the remaining files and I'll take them up. Thank you. Norma, is there a reason Lombardo was on the docket? Because his trial is scheduled for May. Oh. He was an impact in court on May 20th. That's why I like these cases to be recalled when it doesn't go. All right, Norma, recall this for tomorrow. No, it's Lombardi. Caceres, Humberto Caceres? Are you already on that or no?
There was the bottom line is that there was a physical tendering of additional evidence to counsel. And I have that notation made in the file.
All right, Deputy, I'm sorry, Ms. Ferguson, this is gonna be recalled for tomorrow.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
We're working on all the problems we're working on.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Jerry Valdez.
All right, Maracamo. That's being recalled for tomorrow. Jean Maracama.
Jean Moricomo's right here.
All right.
We do need an interpreter.
All right, that'll be recalled for tomorrow.
Mañana es la stand for call.
Oh, come forward.
Sorry, I didn't see you.
Come forward.
Here, come here. Yeah. Jurado or no jurado? Sí, jurado.
Excuse me, who are you? You need to have a seat. All right, just have a seat and we'll get with you, okay?
Your Honor, I heard you say come forward and I thought you were talking to Deferred.
No, I'm talking to her, to him.
Apologies.
No problem.
Ms. Attorney, what is your name, sir?
My name is Kimberly Bush.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Today is the plea deadline date. Is he accepting the plea?
He's not accepting the plea bargain offer, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, we need a jury trial.
Okay. I just want to make sure I got some confusing. I want to make sure you understand. You are not taking the plea and you want to take this case to jury trial and see if we can win it. No, I'm sorry, I just.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this for tomorrow.
I'm very sorry, Your Honor.
No problem. And you all can sit in the box till 12 and discuss it.
I want. No problem.
All right, and who is here on Lana Ganal? All right. Delia Ochoa. Norma, that will be recalled for tomorrow. Amy Oliveras. When would you like it recalled? All right, Norma on Oliveras, that'll be on Thursday. And you're Lombardo? Yes. Ms. Ferguson is going to give you a reset form. Don't leave until you receive the reset form and we'll bring you back tomorrow.
Yes.
15. I think it's. No es que la persona permiso de que puede hablar con ellos para que suspendan alguna parte de la ley.
All right, and then,
Usamos de libertad condicional, beneficios de libertad condicional, se llama fire.
Ganal, Norma, recall that for tomorrow as well.
Se llama en español, se llama fire.
Ganal,
Si usted cumple con todas las condiciones que le den, a los 2 años, el caso se
yes, Norma, have that brought back tomorrow.
cuando termine la condición del fallo aplazado, el caso se desestima, o sea, se quita de sus antecedentes de ley. Pero para cuestión de migración, eso es diferente.
And then we have Virginia Serna, Brenda Rodriguez, and Zena Hara. Let me see who the attorneys are. All right, Gonzalez, what is happening with Veronica Gonzalez? Yes. All right.
Because it's between
Yes.
fine.
All right.
You have a paperwork on this, Herrera, ready to call that,
Okay. So on Serna,
Monthly probation.
Virginia Serna.
The court costs.
Don't see the file on Virginia. All right, Miss Serna, if you'll come down.
Y es una fórmula para desastre.
Don't trip.
I did have an opportunity to talk to Mr. Garahan. Deferred. My understanding is that they're looking to see if they have witnesses to their case.
All right, we'll bring you back tomorrow, okay? We can't do anything today because we're still in jury trial.
Right.
Well, it depends on if this trial is complete. All right, so we'll bring you back tomorrow. You'll be brought dressed. All right. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
But does he understand that if he takes to her, he's the frustrated from the si le dan la libertad condicional o el fallo aplazado, y aquí lo mandan a fiarse.
Se entiende, pero yo pagaré abogado también.
I understand, but I'm gonna pay for an attorney over there.
Oh, it's Veronica Gonzalez and,
Te va a pagar una
okay,
attorney.
all right. All right, so that'll come back tomorrow.
Do you have an immigration?
And what is happening with Brenda Rodriguez?
Who is it? Possession talk. Porque ella debe de hablar con
All right, so everyone,
Okay,
the court, we're going on our lunch break.